Colder weather means more unwelcome guests will be looking for ways to enter your warm home. Both rodents and insects can cause problems. Channel 3's Allison Pryor joins us now in the studio with more on this. It's called a transitional pest season, Allison?
It is. So we're only at the beginning of these cooler temperatures. It's cold in the morning, but the afternoons are still pleasant. So pest problems can be twofold, with some still moving around outside while others are wanting to come indoors. At Arrow Exterminators in Chattanooga, they see an uptick of calls as it gets colder.
The ants, the roaches, and then what we call the occasional invaders, the stink bugs and the ladybugs are seasonal. They'll do the same thing in the spring.
The primary cold weather culprits are ants, cockroaches, mice, and rats. Insects have already started their move in, and as it becomes colder, rodents are a bigger problem.
Of course, to come in out of the cooler temperatures, they'll get into the crawl space areas and attic spaces.
With Thanksgiving next week, you don't want to give critters an even greater opportunity. The CDC recommends if you have a gathering to eat outside or open up windows and doors for ventilation indoors. With highs in the 60s, a lot of insects are still moving about.
Well, if you're going to have windows and doors open, absolutely make sure that they're screened because that's obviously an open invitation for all the pests that we talked about, the rats and the mice, as well as the other insects.
If you plan to eat outside, use common sense to clean up spills and discard any leftover food.
Because that certainly is going to be attractive to ants, cockroaches, and rats and mice as well.
There is some good.
Yeah, I think we're to the point now where the mosquito threat is minimal, if at all. And that's just recently within the last week or so.
And for the early Christmas decorators,
thoroughly check any trees, live trees, of course. If you can, shake the things out. Just thoroughly go through there to make sure there's not spiders or other insects that have made that a home.
The same applies to firewood before you bring it inside. Fires are super cozy this time of year, but an outdoor stack of firewood is a perfect nesting spot for pests. You should store firewood 20 feet away from your house, elevated 1 foot off the ground, and under a covered shelter if possible. Phone calls into Arrow Exterminators have been typical so far this year. Because of COVID, they have transitioned to exterior services only unless there's a specific indoor pest issue. Terry Cross said that most of the insect problems in our region originate from the exterior, so a thorough perimeter treatment works well as prevention. Reporting live in the studio, Allison Pryor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.